Have you ever noticed those brightly coloured cubes when you're on the space station? Well, if you go over and pick them up, you'll find that you can get various things from them. These are scattered all around the space stations, on almost every space station, and if you pick them up, you'll see that they say encrypted navigational data on them. Searching through them will give you nanites, but they'll also give you navigational data, and you can use that in an interesting way to find more quests and get more things. So make sure you have a look around the space station. You'll find them in various different places. They're usually located on desks and tables and little crevices and all over the space stations in various different locations, and you'll see there's both blue and yellow ones, and they're pretty easy to identify because they glow nicely like little lights. Picking them up, sometimes you'll also receive nanites, so this is an extra bonus way of getting nanites. You'll also find them outside vendors, so you'll see that outside the vendor spot there, just sitting in front of him, and you'll see them when you even come through the portals as well, so sometimes they're just right there. Now the interesting thing about these is that you can pick up multiples from each space station and you can then use them, so they can be sold, so you can just go to the Galactic Trade Terminal and sell them, but you can also head over to one of the characters on the space station. You can see this person is called the Cartographer. Talk to the Cartographer and he'll give you access to use that navigational data for finding more interesting things that you can get up to. So you see when you select to talk to him, you have a variety of options to go through. You can either ask for help or you can exchange specific charts. So if you do that, you'll then see that you have a number of different charts available. There are ones marked as secret cartographic data for planetary charts, and you'll see that there's secret data, emergency data, commercial data, alien data, and specialist data. You can buy these in classes of one or multiples of them, so you can actually buy loads if you picked up loads of navigational data, and then you can find this in your inventory. Again, these can be sold in exchange for units, so you can just go straight to the Galactic Trade Terminal and sell them if you want to, but you can also use them to find interesting things on nearby planets that will then get you extra unlocks and other things of interest. So it's a pretty nifty and really easy way to just find things to do in No Man's Sky if you're at a loss of things to do, or if you just want to do some investigation on the various planets. So if you head over to your exosuit, once you've made those purchases, you'll find them in there, and you'll get a little description of what they are. So you can see that this secret one is a map of a nearby planet. It'll give you access to a secure site. Another one is for distress signals, inhabited outposts, and all sorts. So there's a variety of different missions in here. You can also see the value of them. So for example, the settlement chart is worth 3,200. The alien one is worth 35,200, so they're quite different in their value, and yet obviously you've just picked up this data off a table and then basically got a chart for it that you can then sell. So it's a really easy way to actually make some extra money if you can't be bothered to go through and do these little side quests. Once you've activated one of the charts, it'll then mark somewhere on a nearby planet in that system that you can then visit. So just jump into your spaceship and head over to that planet and fly down there. And then once you get there, depending on what you've selected to do, you'll have a different activity to do. So you can see that here I've selected the manufacturing facility. Now these ones are a little bit tricky because they often are basically a building with a reinforced door on it, and it requires you to break your way in. On this planet there happens to be some Sentinels that are already present in that area, which obviously puts me in danger of getting into a bit of a scrape, and you'll also need to be able to destroy the door. Now you could do this with the spaceship before you even land, just blast the doors before you've landed, but you can also do it once you've landed just using your main weapon. So you can do it here, and you can see I'm just shooting my way in. Immediately that's angered all the Sentinels in the area though, and there are the robot dog types and the flying ones, so it is going to cause me a little bit of a problem, but I'll give you a tip in a second to get away from them. Once you get inside, you can then interact with this console, and I chose the wrong thing, which then resulted in a problem for me and basically got nothing out of doing this quest. But obviously you have a number of different options to choose from. You might get lucky and find something of interest. Also inside the building sometimes there's some other things, so have a quick poke around before you exit. You can see that here I can extract some nanites, for example. So you got a handful of nanites. It's got 64 nanites just for going into this building. So at least, if nothing else, I've got some nanites out of it and some other materials. So there you go. Once you've escaped from there, you'll find obviously now we've got Sentinels chasing. But that's not a problem, because what we can do is we can jump in our ship and fly off. Once you start to fly off, you obviously have the Sentinel Starship Interceptors coming after you. My tip here is to just call in the anomaly. Once you summon the anomaly, you can fly into that, and then you can avoid any of the Sentinel problems. This has been the Provoke Prawn. Check out the other links to other tips and tricks videos in the description.